What's up, guys? Your boy, 22K13. I'm going to talk about 4 ups and 4 downs from last night WWE SmackDown, June 11th. This comes from WhatCulture.com. This week's SmackDown focused on continuing the storyline for most other matches set to take place at Sunday's Money in the Bank special event. They didn't build up every match because John Cena wasn't there like usual and neither was his opponent, Kevin Owens. But most of the stories will continue on this week's show. There was a better flow to the show since there was 3 matches that received about 10 minutes of in-ring time or more. 5 matches in 2 hours is better than sitting through 8 matches in 2 hours when they book a series of squash matches. It also makes SmackDown feel a bit more different than Raw because it's become more of a wrestling show since there aren't as many in-ring promos. If you're wondering, there was no tribute to Dusty Rhodes on the show because they had already aired it in other countries before he died. They likely sent in the finished product to the show before the news of Dusty passing became known. Here are the match results from the show. Ryback defeats The Miz, Bad News Bear defeats Jack Swagger, Seth Rollins defeats Dolph Ziggler, Paige defeats Alicia Fox by submission, Roman Reigns, Neville, and Randy Orton defeat Kane, Kofi Kingston, and Sheamus by disqualification. Here are the ups and downs from this week's edition of SmackDown. This comes from WhatCulture.com. The down. Number 4. Jack Swagger deserves better. When Jack Swagger had his match with King Barrett, it was obvious that Swagger was losing because he barely on television. And if he is, we know he out there to lose a match. It's such a shame for a guy that was a World Heavyweight Champion a few years ago. Not only did Swagger lose to Barrett, but it was over in under 3 minutes, and that even includes a distraction by R-Truth. That's about as low as it gets since Barrett loses so much too. What WWE needs to do with Swagger is find him a new tag team partner. If he doesn't have the kind of personality to really stand out on his own, which is why he had manager, but if they can find a guy for him to team with, he could find success that way. Number 3. Another Lana interview felt unnecessary. While Lana is easy on the eyes and very good actress, it's starting to reach the point where they are just trying to find another way to get her on the show. So here's another interview with her. Keep in mind that last week they did an interview with her on Mid TV, and it was basically booked to be the same thing. This time, the interview was done by Michael Cole as part of WWE Weekly Interview segment that's put on WWE.com and YouTube. The whole thing ran 7 minutes off through only a snippet of it was shown on SmackDown. Rusev showed up at the end to say he want her back. She said no, and he freaked out at the end of it. He a good performer, too, but they need to take him off TV so that he can come back fresh in 2 months instead of having him look like an idiot week after week. It almost makes him come off like a face to see him made to look like an incompetent fool so often that the last thing they want for this character. Don't put Lana on TV every week just to get her on without doing anything important. It comes off as forced and it'll hurt her star power if she out there in useless segment all the time. Number 2. Week build for Diva title match continue. Paige beat Alicia Fox on SmackDown in a match that went about 4 minutes. The crowd was there for much of it because they knew Alicia had no chance of winning, and it was pretty short like most Divas matches are. The other reason is that WWE had done such a poor job of telling these stories that the fans just don't care. Here's a summary of how WWE had gone from Elimination Chamber to Money in the Bank in their 2 weeks of build. Raw last week, Nikki Bella beat Paige in a Diva title with the Twin Magic switch as the Bella turned heel again. SmackDown last week, Paige does a promo about wanting change. No specifics are mentioned, of course. Raw this week, Nikki beat Summer Rae. Paige was so mad at things that she watched on a monitor backstage. SmackDown this week, Paige over Alicia Fox with no sign of Nikki Bella. How about a promo with the girls or some kind of physical interaction? Let's see Paige get up in Nikki's face, shove her, brawl with her, and say she's sick of her. That's what we want. It's a shame because the girls have a lot of talent too. It's just that they aren't given a fair chance to show it. Number 1. The same two guys open SmackDown again. Last week's SmackDown started with Seth Rollins doing a promo in the ring and Dean Ambrose showing up on the video screen. This week's SmackDown saw Ambrose doing a promo in the ring with Rollins coming out to try to get his WWE title back. It feels like they booked this segment in about 1 minute because it was so basic and plain, even when Ambrose busted out a line about how it still feels like Tuesday, as a funny joke about when they taped this show. It looked like he gave Rollins the title back, but instead it was just a joke because Ambrose claimed he has no idea where the WWE title is. WWE booking is weird because they just aren't consistent with how they push things. We think they might hate Roman Reigns, yet it's Ambrose that stole the WWE title, and at one point they were mad about him doing that. Reigns is forced to wrestle 3 times on Raw 2 weeks ago, yet Ambrose hasn't had a match on TV since Elimination Chamber 2 weeks ago. Can we have a little consistency? The main reason this is a down is because the WWE has to stop starting Raw and SmackDown with show opening promos. Please do something different for a change. It's really tiresome by this point. Number 4. King Barrett actually won a match. It's so rare for WWE to actually book King Barrett to win a match, so it get a mile up this week. His opponent was Jack Swagger, who hadn't won a meaningful match on Raw or SmackDown in so long that he's surprised to be on the show. The reason they did the match was to try to build up a story for Barrett's match against R-Truth at Money in the Bank, which is part of the kickoff show. Truth tried on Barrett King gear, which distracted Barrett, although not enough to cause him to lose, because he still managed to beat Swagger, the jobber, in under 3 minutes. When R-Truth was on commentary for this match, and he referred to Brian Stassen as coach and Tom Phillips as JBL, it was pretty funny. He knew who Jerry Lawler was, so he got one right. I like the silliness of R-Truth's character because he can pull it off really well. Number 3. Ryback is an IC champion that actually wins. WWE booked their champion to be such a loser all the time that when a mid-card champion actually wins a non-title match, it's an up for sure. Ryback has improved in the ring this year, so when he booked in a match like this that goes about 10 minutes, he looked decent. There was a creative finish with Miz actually trying to set up Ryback with a meat hook clothesline spot of his own, but it didn't really work and Ryback crushed him with a clothesline. A shell shock by Ryback ended as he got the clean win. Imagine that. It would have been nice if they didn't have Ryback attack Big Show on Raw because then they could have gone into the match on Sunday without any physical altercation. That way it built it up more. At least on SmackDown they didn't do anything physical. It was just more trash talk. Number 2. Every Rollins vs. Ziggler match is good. Anytime Seth Rollins wrestled Dolph Ziggler, the match is very good, and this one was no exception. That's their go-to match when they want to put on a solid TV match, usually on SmackDown, because they have done it on this show several times in the past few months. There were great near falls throughout with it looking like Rollins was going to lose, just he lost on Raw. After Ziggler hit some of his big moves like the leaping DDT and the famous Rollins looked like he was in trouble. That led to the finish with Rollins rolling through on a crossbody block and then grabbing the tight when he pinned Ziggler. They should have done a finish where Rollins did a cheap move behind the ref back like an outpost to set up the pedigree finish for the decisive win. If we focus on the match, then the positive far outweighs the negative. As mentioned earlier, it's just frustrating to see Rollins booked this way all the time. Number 1. Never proved that he belonged. The six-man tag match that ended SmackDown had a disqualification finish thanks to the New Day interference because that's how WWE typically book those kind of matches as a way to say most of those guys are going into that match evenly. What was great about the match is how they ended the post-match attack by making the shortest match in Money in the Bank look bigger than everybody else, with everybody outside the ring after the ring. Neville extended a ladder that was inside the ring, and then he took them all out with a huge dive off the ladder. Since safety is so important, there were referee athletes in the ring holding it for support. The show ended with Neville climbing up the ladder in the middle of the ring, putting down the Money in the Bank briefcase, while the announcer wondered if he's going to be the man that wins Money in the Bank. Is he going to win Money in the Bank? Probably not, because Roman Reigns likely will. However, they still did a great job of making it look like Neville had a legit shot as he showed that he deserved to be in that match with those guys that used to be main event players, and some of them that are going to be in main event for years to come. The main event didn't have a clean finish, but there was still a happy ending with popular babyface Neville standing tall. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.